This is the plaintiff, Deborah Ryder. She says she lost her precious dog, Milo, who suffered a heart attack after the defendant's vicious, unleashed pit bull attacked him, and he ended up dying in the animal hospital. The defendant's a horrible person. Her dog maliciously attacked her poor Milo, and she's suing her for the $5,000 she's most definitely owed. This is the defendant, Ricky Christensen. She says she felt horrible about the attack, but the plaintiff's dog was 16 years old and was suffering from liver cancer when it happened. She paid for the dog's surgery. The dog was recovering, but then a few weeks later had a heart attack. She doesn't feel she's responsible for a very old and sick dog dying weeks after the incident with her dog. She's already given this woman enough money and owes her nothing more. She's accused of causing a dog's death.
All parties, please hit your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant's pit bull attacked her dog, and the poor thing was in such bad shape it had a heart attack at the vets. But the defendant says the plaintiff's dog was 16 and had liver cancer. It's the case of you have no heart.
Thank you, Douglas. Deborah Ryder, you are suing Ricky Christensen for $5,000. You say you're out actually more than that because her dog attacked your dog. Tell me what happened.
Correct. On November 12, 2017, I was in my driveway with my two dachshunds when Miss Christensen's dog came into my driveway. And
How far away from each other do you live?
4 doors and across the street.
Okay. And the dog just came into your driveway?
Yes.
Loose, unleashed, no human with it?
No.
Okay.
No collar, nothing. And first it attacked my female, and luckily I got the dog off of her with little damage, and then attacked my other dog, Milo, which I couldn't get the dog off of. The dog was screaming, and Ricky was standing there.
Oh, Ricky was there?
They ran down, they followed the dog out of the garage.
Okay.
And they came down, but they just stood and watched, and no one helped me, and I had to.
Okay, when you say they stood and watched, you know, they weren't sitting around taking bets, right? I mean, they just weren't effective at getting the dog
right.
off. Okay.
And then I got the dog off, and at that point, she said she would take me to the vet. A dog had surgery, and then when the dog...
What kind of surgery?
On his neck, on his side.
Do you have the vet reports and bills from the day of the surgery, the day of the attack?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
May I see those? The surgery happened the same day or a different day?
On the day of the 12th, yes. And then there was surgery again on the 14th.
And there was surgery again. All right. 3 days later, the dog is brought back because?
He wasn't eating, drinking, or taking his pain medications. And I brought him in, and he never left after that. I was there every day until December 2nd when he died.
How old was the dog?
The dog was 15. He turned 16 in the hospital right before he died.
So let's talk about you and your conduct. In the meantime, do you have a picture of your dog?
I have some pictures that they gave to you, and this was 5 days before he died.
Ugh, are these, is this from the wound?
Yes.
And those are drains?
Yes.
Are those staples?
Yes. The dog had him around the neck and the side. That was him on Thanksgiving.
All right. So what happened?
We were in the garage, my children and I, cleaning the garage, and Pepper was in the garage with us. And my son, Evan, turned around and said, "Mom, Pepper, just like a bullet, got low on the ground and just ran out of the garage."
Okay, but hold on. Pepper's a pit bull, and Pepper was in the garage with the garage door open.
Yes.
Okay, so why is it a big surprise that Pepper got out when there was nothing containing Pepper? You didn't have Pepper on a leash.
Correct.
And Pepper's an animal. So where's the big surprise for the humans that Pepper just got down low and got out? The garage door's open. Pepper doesn't even have to bend down.
But the thing is, yes, I mean, she's been in the garage before. She's been in the yard. She doesn't usually leave our side.
It's a pit bull. Why is it always a pit bull? It's not the pit bull's fault. The pit bull has the nature the pit bull has. It's just that these cases are always pit bulls because, you know, it's one thing if your Chihuahua gets, well, actually, Chihuahuas are kind of nasty dogs. That was a bad example. It's one thing if your poodle gets out, but it's quite another if your pit bull gets out. And then what? It can't be the first time your pit bull's gotten out. I know it's not.
The pit bull has jumped the fence.
Oh,
Yes.
there you go.
Yes.
How many times has your pit bull gotten out?
Maybe 4 or 5, you know, times. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, let's get to the attack in this case. So you run out after Pepper when Pepper gets loose, right?
My son is first.
Yeah.
He's
How old's
quicker.
your son?
16.
Okay.
He's running down the street. I'm running behind him. What Evan told me is that he pulled Pepper
Did
back.
Pepper have a collar?
Yes.
Okay.
A pink collar. Pulled Pepper back like this, and Pepper dropped the dog. Okay? By the time I got there, and I am hysterical, from what I recall, it happened very quickly. Milo was on the ground. I don't know if I could touch it. I said, okay, I'm going to go get my car. Raced over there. She had her wrapped in a towel. We went to the vet. On the way to the vet, she told me that her dog was 16 and had liver cancer. And I just got more upset. And so then when we got there, they took the dog in the back. The vet came out and said the dog was going to have surgery. I stayed there with her. And then I brought her and the dog home. And the dog was still in pain when we brought it home. And I asked her if you want me to do anything.
Well, you find out that the dog has to go back in 3 days later. How do you find that out?
This happened on a Sunday. On Tuesday, I decided to take my dog to the vet because I knew that we needed to do the right thing. And when I went to that vet, it was not the same one on Tuesday. And they talked me into, you know, just keep your dog on a leash. And then, you know, here's the card for somebody, you know, dog trainer, just put, you know, and all this. And I thought, that vet didn't see what my dog did. And I need to do the right thing.
So you ended up putting the dog to sleep. You brought the dog back again.
I went to the vet that saw what, and we had a long conversation. I wanted someone to just say,
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. Right.
So the bottom line is that I feel like I made the right decision.
Okay.
It was a hard decision, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So now it's not several weeks later. It's only 3 days later that Milo goes back in.
Yes.
Milo is there then until December 2nd.
Yes.
And I'd like to see some narrative from the doctor about what caused Milo's death. I have a lot of questions for this doctor that aren't answered by any of this paperwork. Because here's what it comes down to. There's 2 parts to every lawsuit. One is liability, slam dunk.
Right.
The other is damages. I need to understand a little bit more about how Milo died, what Milo died of, the reason for a 3-week hospitalization.
Right.
Because it's everyone's own decision whether they want to pay it. But when you ask a judge to make someone else pay it, now it becomes a reasonable person standard. And I can't answer that without talking to the vet. So I'm going to take a recess now. I'm going to try to reach your vet. All right, court's in recess, folks.
All rise. So the dog's 16 with liver cancer. Aside from vet bills, what does the plaintiff get for the dog?
I think that they should pay for them to go to see a therapist, talk about what happened, because I think that's a very traumatic event, even though the dog is very old.
Very interesting theory, but most courts don't allow it. What do you say?
I don't know.
I mean, do you give them any money, a 16-year-old dog with liver cancer? What do you say, sir?
I would say they should give them some compensation.
Like what? How much do you give? You see the problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a problem. Going inside the courtroom.
I did talk to the vet. I was able to speak to one of the 2 vets that tended to Milo, and she remembered Milo. So there are some questions that I have for you that I neglected to ask you beforehand. Did you have to bring Milo back, or did Milo ever come out, or?
Milo came out twice.
Okay. Because
And-
Milo was getting better during that time.
Right.
And then
While he was in the hospital, and then when he came home,
he would start, it was too
not
much.
eating and yes.
And then you'd bring Milo back.
Right.
And at any point in time, did the doctors tell you this is hopeless?
No.
Right. In fact, they appear to have felt like Milo had turned a corner and it was going to be okay.
Yes.
All right. So where am I? I'm in a position where I'm to look at the life expectancy of a dachshund, which is about 16 years, and the dog's 16 years old. And I'm supposed to say, lady, eat all your medical bills for your dog, when she's being told by doctors that this could work and this is going to be fine. And look, Milo's way better. You can take Milo home. She takes Milo home. Then Milo starts to do a little more poorly. Well, why is she in this position? Because you're cleaning out your garage with your darn garage door open with your pit bull who can access Milo and do this. And I know you feel bad, and I know that you did what you feel was the right thing, but honestly, the right thing would have been not to have your garage door open and to have your dog on a leash. Then you might not have even had to put your dog down. You know, yes, the dog is old, but old age is not a disease. Right. We're not throwing me out. We're not throwing you. We're not doing that. And I realize that dogs aren't human. I am one of those judges that actually realizes that. Okay, that in this state they're considered property, and that's how we deal with it. So I get it. But she's still entitled to the reasonable cost that she's out. And I'm not, based on what I learned from all of these records and my conversations with the vets, in a position to say that it was unreasonable. It was working. The dog was getting better. It's not like people are saying, ma'am, you're crazy. The dog is 16. The dog, has a terrible prognosis from liver issues. None of that was the case. The dog was fine until your dog got out and viciously attacked it. And that's how the dog ended up passing away. So no, I'm not going to make her eat any of the bills other than what's the excess of the statutory maximum. Verdict for the plaintiff, $5,000. Good luck, folks.
Well, in a very unfortunate case that no dog owner likes to hear anything about, you fear about these kind of things. Ms. Christensen, the defendant's just come out of the courtroom. I feel sorry for you, too, because you ended up putting your dog down, but do you understand the judge's decision? She found for her for the whole medical bills, all $5,000 worth.
Yes, she did. I didn't expect that.
You didn't?
No, I did not. Because
Why?
the prognosis of a 16-year-old dog and saying that I thought the dog had cancer, but the dog suffered through many, many, many surgeries, couldn't eat, couldn't pee, couldn't do anything, and then ended up passing away anyways. So I felt like she was inhumane, but the vets...
You heard what the judge did? She talked to the vet?
She did.
The dog was fine. They thought she was going to be okay.
Okay.
And I know you had paid some vet bill. How much had you paid in vet bills?
About $300.
Okay. Well, add another $5,000 to it. I'm so sorry for you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Now here comes Miss Ryder, the plaintiff.
Hello.
I'm so sorry for what you had to go through.
Me too.
I'm sure you are. How do you feel about what the judge decided?
She's wonderful. She went by the law, and that's what she does. And I'm just so happy that she saw what I saw. My other dog is 17, the one that was also attacked by her dog. The dog is 17, and very healthy. Her blood works perfect. So, that dog was good.
Okay. Well, do you still see her occasionally? You live nearby?
Across the street, 4 doors down.
Yeah, right.
But I'm not a malicious person, and I'm not an aggressive person, and I really don't care. She's a neighbor.
Okay. Well, congratulations. I'm sorry you had to go through this. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Good luck. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Harvey, sad case. What do you think?
So I got to tell you, I think this is good news. Right now, in most states, dogs are considered property, but there are states now that are changing that, and you can actually get money for pain and suffering, because the reality is dogs feel pain and they suffer. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.